Hi there, I'm Steve Gurney from the Positive Aging Community, and you're listening to the Pro Aging Podcast. Today we have one of our marketing masterminds and senior living discussions. This was recorded in front of a live audience of influential senior living professionals in Northern Virginia at the WAFA monthly meeting. I shared some insights on how and why senior serving professionals should be utilizing LinkedIn as a tool to help us connect with colleagues and referral sources. I hope you find it helpful. So now let's jump into the conversation. I've really been looking forward to giving this presentation because number one, I love this WAFA group. Number two, I love you all as a community and building a community, but I also really, over the last few years, have really been getting into LinkedIn quite a bit. And I think there's some tips and secrets that if you apply them, you can really see some dramatic improvement to your community building and your connections. All right, so I got kind of a unique, well, first off, let me just ask, anybody in the room today, a resident of Hunters Woods or an older adult or family member who just happens to be here, just you're not working or volunteering in the world of senior living? Okay, nobody. All right, this is great. Okay, because guess what, guys? We're not talking about Facebook today. We're talking about a social media network that is for the professional. We're all professionals in this room. We all got up this morning and came to this event. And the format of what I'm going to talk about today is we're going to reflect on why you came to this WAFA meeting, went through the trouble, got dressed, did the whole thing, came to this, what you do here at WAFA. And I'm going to show you how you can do everything that you're doing and more on LinkedIn, just like you come to WAFA and these other networking events. And I'm going to go through, I got 3 points that I'm going to kind of go through. What to wear, why bother, and what do I say and what do I do when I get here, okay? And we're going to talk about that for WAFA, but we're also going to talk about it for LinkedIn. So here's the thing. As I look around the room, everybody is dressed appropriately. Okay, I know there's somebody in the audience that's like, I can't believe he's speaking and he's wearing blue jeans and no tie. Okay, and there's somebody who walked in and who probably said she's got a pink handbag with a red top. That does not matter. But the point is, we're all wearing clothes. Okay, we all came to this event, and a lot of us. You might sort of think about it, but a lot of you, I mean, who came the furthest today? Anybody from Maryland? Oh, from Maryland. Where in Maryland? District Heights. Can anybody beat District Heights? Okay, let's give, oh, where? West Virginia. Okay. Oh, where? Spotsylvania. Come on. Let's give these folks a big round of applause. Oh, wow, man, okay. I mean, I can literally practically walk to this place, so but the fact of the matter is, for those that there is a fair amount of effort to come into a meeting like this, especially for folks in West Virginia and Spotsylvania County. I mean, could have got up at 5 o'clock or what have you, and that's, but let's talk about what to wear on LinkedIn. So here's the thing. Only 50% of LinkedIn profiles are fully complete. And so I want you to imagine if LinkedIn is a WAFA meeting, half of the people are walking around in swimsuits, okay? So before we even talk about how LinkedIn works and things like that, I really want to focus on getting you guys dressed and making sure that you're coming to this party and you're just wearing clothes, okay? It doesn't necessarily need to be appropriate clothes, okay? But I want you to wear your clothes. And I know you can't see this from back there, but It's really easy to get dressed on LinkedIn. Basically, when you go to your profile, you're going to see a bunch of little pencils. They're all over your profile. And the pencil means edit. And I want you to click on any time, not just on LinkedIn, every social media platform, we're going to get into this, is I want you to click on every pencil and fill out that form, okay? There's a lot of different expert opinions on how you should put your title and all these types of things. But at the end of the day, if you leave it blank, you're missing out. You can go on YouTube and you can take some courses and hear a bunch of different opinions. But what I want is click on every pencil, try to fill out every form. There might be a few you can't fill out. That's okay. But try to get to about 90%. Now, one of the areas where there's a couple of areas where folks have difficulty on their profile, and that's images and headshots. If you're not familiar with a software tool called Canva, C-A-N-V-A, sign on, get a free account, and just start playing around with it. But on Canva, once you get comfortable, you can type in LinkedIn profile. And it'll give you a bunch of templates that you can kind of play around with and add your own flair to what your profile looks like. Because this is what you don't want right here, okay? You don't want something like this. This is not presenting you in a professional and a positive manner. Okay, the other thing that I want you to be aware of is when you click on your profile, you'll see another pencil that says public profile and URL. What you'll notice is, for some of you, when you go to your LinkedIn profile, if you look at the address at the top of the page, it's going to look like gibberish. You'll say LinkedIn/1234, with a bunch of code. What we all should have is some kind of sort of customized URL that relates to our name, okay? Now, and I say this, so mine's Gurns S, and Gurn S, and I'm sure because when I did it, there's probably a million Steve Gurneys, there's a million people spelling out Gurney, so I went Gurn S, and I've had it for years, so I'm not going to change it. But one thing that you want to be careful about, don't put your company name on there. Even if you own the company, you might change the name of your company, you might sell your company. Try to have it relate to your name, your last name, a nickname, something like that, okay? Okay, I think that's, okay, and here's the bonus. 100% complete LinkedIn profile makes you 40% more likely to make a connection on LinkedIn. And we're going to talk about what LinkedIn wants you to do. LinkedIn wants you filling out all this information. And if you do, they're going to advance you. Because what they are not really keen on is people doing searches and seeing a bunch of these things, okay? So they want the people with with a nice photo and a nice profile. That's who they want to advance on their platform. Now, listen, I'm not intruding or anything like that, but out of curiosity, anybody in the room done any online dating? One or two, okay. I'm not going to ask you for questions or anything like that, okay? And again, I've never given this presentation before, so I hope this comes out the right way. But here's the deal. I have friends that do online dating, and they put a lot of thought and energy into their online dating profile. I mean, it can consume them for months sometimes, and then so the key is it's sort of like you're on this platform and you're getting matches and this, that, and the other. Now, for those online daters out there, people that talk to online daters, here's the deal. You make a match, what do? Go to Google. What do? You type their name in if you get their name. And guess what you're going to find? A LinkedIn profile. 90% of the people whose names I type in, I basically, second or third is their LinkedIn profile. And I click on that 100% of the time because I want to find out, what this person is doing for a profession, where they went to school, all that type of stuff. And so I say this because if you're sort of like saying, LinkedIn profile, it's not that important, it really is important. And it's what people, when they search your name up, if you're in sales in this room and somebody is like, whenever somebody reaches out to me for the very first time and I don't really know who they are or what they're doing, I'll go in and I'll do a Google search and look at their LinkedIn, and then I have their LinkedIn profile, And I will tell you, I sometimes am sort of like, wait, this person doesn't have a LinkedIn profile, but they're trying to sell me $10,000 in printing services? I mean, that doesn't make sense to me, okay? All right, so think about that. Okay, so we're all dressed. We got our profiles together. So why bother, okay? So what are some of the reasons that you guys came to this event today? Or come to WAFA in general? You can just shout out.
Networking.
Networking. And what? Learning, okay? Sometimes I hope you learned something today, but they usually got really good speakers here. Information sharing, that's amongst each of you. You're sharing information.
Maybe to see the site.
Yeah, like is this anybody your first time in Harris Woods at Trails Edge? 1, 2, 3. Wow, hey, look at this, man. Home run. Got a bunch of folks, and you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You can take a tour of this community and you're meeting a bunch of people. Well, now, guys, we all go to these events for the free food, right? Yeah. We're saving money. Got coffee. See friends. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. I think we covered, and remember the amount of effort that this takes to come to this thing. You wake up in Capitol Heights, you got to get ready, you sit in traffic, you come here, okay, you've already burned 2.5 hours, then you're going to burn another hour and whatever, and then you're going to burn this could be a 5-hour episode, okay? So the reason that I'm saying this is that if you think that, it takes energy to do LinkedIn, think about how much time and energy you devoted to just come to this one meeting, and most of us are going to 6 or 7 of these a week, okay? So that's why we bother come here. So now why bother getting on LinkedIn? Okay, well, 1 billion users worldwide. LinkedIn is on a growth trajectory, 15% growth from last year. 230 million people in the US are on LinkedIn. All right, now, I can hear you guys in your head. You're like, yeah, Steve, I don't care about 230 million people in the US. I'm doing business in Northern Virginia with a very specific audience. So by a show of hands, how many of you would like to, actually, no, let me do it this way. How many social workers are in the room, practicing social workers are in the room right now? Raise your hand. 1, okay, raise it higher. Yeah. What's your name? Cynthia, okay, the medical team. Any other practicing social workers besides Cynthia? Okay, Cynthia, you are the most popular lady in town. I did you a favor there. Now, let me, by a show of hands, how many of you would like to meet a practicing social worker in Northern Virginia? Is anybody's hand not up? Okay, because if you're in senior living and you don't want to meet a social worker, you're nuts, okay? All right, so guess what? We only have 1 social worker here. You know why? Social workers are too busy to come to this place. They benefit, but they're too busy. Cynthia somehow snuck out and she's doing intel on LinkedIn for the office or something like that. Okay, well, check this out, guys. Within a 25-mile radius of Reston, Virginia, there are 1,500 social workers people with the title of social work on their LinkedIn profile on LinkedIn. That's pretty cool. Now, we're going to talk about how much people use LinkedIn. Some of those social workers, they might only log into LinkedIn when they change jobs, okay? Guess what? What do people do in our business? Change jobs, right? Okay, so the day that Cindy social worker changes from Shady Acres to Leafy Acres, okay, she logs in, she sees you, oh wow, this is great, love connection, it's awesome. Okay, so while LinkedIn is this global social media network, holy cow, man, it drills down. And the thing is that our business of senior living is all built on professional referrals. And let me give you, I've given a lot of thought to this. I'll give you a little bit of inside baseball on why that is. Nobody wants anything that we're selling. Nobody wants it. This is a beautiful community, but nobody wants to move here. Nobody wants to get grab bars in their bathroom. Nobody wants the loving, caring home care agency to take care of them. The phrase that we all hear every day of the week is, I'm not ready yet. But each of us in this room are working with people that stop saying, I'm not ready yet in one small area. And then through our professional referral network, that's how we get our tentacles into the lives of these individuals. And so that's one main reason why LinkedIn and these meetings and professionals are great. Okay, here's another really cool thing, stat about LinkedIn is that there's a higher percentage of older professionals than on LinkedIn. And one of the things that everybody in this room has probably discovered is that if you've been in this business long enough, you've started taking care of some of your cohort, some of your colleagues, friends, and family. And the other day, I was on LinkedIn, and this was pretty cool. And we'll kind of get into this, but I'll bring it up now because it kind of blew my mind. It was this year I'm doing every month I'm doing a roundtable with the Aging Life Care Association national office, where every month online you can talk to 3 aging life care managers from around the country. And they were promoting this on LinkedIn. And I was looking at my feed and I was like, holy cow, this post has been shared, 50 times. So I clicked on it and I'm looking down and I'm reading some of the comments. And, you would think when you're posting something on LinkedIn, you're only posting for referrals. So we're talking about aging life care manager for all of your clients, But I started reading through it, and there was people there that were like, oh, I had no idea this existed. I'm going to call an aging life care manager for my mom, So really is the demographic is great. Okay. All right. So we got dressed. We figured out that coming to WAFA is a good idea. We figured out that being on LinkedIn is a good idea. Now, what the heck do you do and say when you come to these places? Now, one of the things, and this is why I'm kind of jazzed about this format for our discussion today, is that nobody has ever given us a rule book on what we're supposed to do at WAFA. Like, we just kind of arrive and we just start communicating with each other, and then it takes about 5 minutes to shut everybody up and get the program started. Okay, but there's not like here's your WAFA rule book. This is what you're going to do when you come in. Okay, now what I'm going to try to do is give you a little bit of a rule book for using LinkedIn. But the best thing that you can do is when you're on LinkedIn, I want you to imagine that you're at a WAFA meeting, because we want to see the same behaviors. And let me see what the next slide is. Okay, so I sort of question, like, would anybody come to this meeting if it was like a middle school dance where the boys are on one side, the girls are on the other, and we just stared at each other and we didn't talk to each other. We would never come to these meetings. You would come to one, and then that would be it. I'm never going back there again, It'd have to be a really good speaker, better than me. Okay, here's the thing. LinkedIn, we're going to talk a lot about algorithms. Okay, and what's really funny is all the social media, they work on algorithms. If social media started today, we'd never hear the word algorithm. It would be AI. Okay, algorithms are AI. The AI that's behind LinkedIn, what they want people to do is have conversations on their platform. The same exact thing that makes this WAFA meeting successful is us having conversations on the platform. Another cool thing about LinkedIn, they don't really make money off advertising like Facebook and some of the other socials do. Their paid advertising is job listings, but they want people to upgrade their subscriptions. And none of you need, I'll tell you, when you need to upgrade a subscription. You don't need to upgrade. It doesn't hurt, especially if your company's paying for it. But the reason people are going to upgrade their subscriptions is because it's a community and people are having conversations. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of behind the scenes baseball on what's going on LinkedIn. It's actually the same thing that's going on in other socials, but this will help you understand, and when you're thinking about how you're going to use it, you can use that. And I also want to put a big asterisk here. I'm not an expert in this area. There's people that get paid to do this kind of stuff. Unfortunately, the people that get paid to do this don't understand our business. So what I'm trying to do is help you bridge the gap between how to use LinkedIn, but understanding how the referral network in senior living works. But here's what happens. So first off, when you log into LinkedIn, you're going to see a feed. And this is stuff that LinkedIn is feeding to you, okay? Now, one thing that people don't realize is you see a very, very small fraction of the people that you're connected to. You see a very small fraction of their posts on LinkedIn, Facebook, all these places. Because think about it. I think I have something like 10,000 people on my LinkedIn feed, but I see a lot of the same folks on a daily basis. And I'm going to help explain why that. And then a lot of folks are out there, I'm not seeing anything that they're posting, okay? But, so what happens is, if you post on LinkedIn, and you don't need to post, we're going to get into this, okay? But if you post on LinkedIn, the first thing LinkedIn is running a test on is your post quality. They don't want it to be spammy. And I'm going to get into what the spammy post looks like. And a lot of you, it might surprise you, you're not out there, you're not like from Russia or China trying to spam, the world, but you're just unintentionally, your post is spamming and it's getting demoted. But so the first thing that they do is they take a small percentage. If you put something up there, they take a small percentage of your audience and they see how they react to that post. And if they react favorably, then, so that's the post testing. If they react favorably, if the member activity reacts favorably, then they give you a boost. And now you could have as much as 30 or 40% more people seeing the content that you're putting out there. Because LinkedIn is saying, hey, this is killer content. People can have conversation around this. We're going to give this guy a bonus. Nobody's telling you that you do this, but I'll share with you how you can figure it out. And the most important thing is that it's relevant. It's relevant to your audience, to the community. Okay, so now I told you you don't need to post. In fact, I'm going to give some of you guys instructions, and you don't have to post on LinkedIn, okay? But just let's think about, and I'm going to go through these different types of people that are in this room today. So first off, so today I am a content creator in this room. I am sharing with you information, and it's like I'm writing a post up here on LinkedIn while we're talking. But we have a couple of other content creators here. We've got the WAFA team, because they organized this event. They welcomed you. That's content, Then, as I observed when I came in, there's a bunch of you that were content creators and you didn't even realize it. When you're hanging out with a group of 3 or 4 people and you're kind of holding court, you're talking about how you drove by a new community that's being built next week, or you read an article in the Wall Street Journal about how, this is happening. You're creating content. You're not presenting it to the whole group. You're presenting it to your little community there. So today, we have a handful of us in this room that are content creators, not everybody, and that's okay. Then the next group that we've got are the commenters, okay? So we've already, I asked you guys a few questions. It's, Capitol Heights, West Virginia, this, that, and the other. Those are commenters. And when you were holding court talking about the Wall Street Journal article, the people that were listening to you, if they said, wow, I had no idea about that article, I'm going to go check it out, they are a commenter too, okay? So now the next type of person that is in the room and is online too is what we call a passive engager. That is somebody that is like, when I'm done today, they're going to be clapping, okay? Thank you. I mean, I need that, man. It's good for my self-esteem, okay? But online, passive engager might be somebody that gives you the thumbs up and likes something, okay? And then last but not least, infrequent users, okay? And I want to bring this one up because out of curiosity, is anybody here, how many people are, it's their first time coming to Waffle? Okay. And how many people, they haven't been to Waffle in like 3 years and you just decided to come here today? Well, okay, you're an infrequent user, I mean, but it's awesome that you're here. It's kind of like that social worker that I said that's changing jobs, It's like, we got an opportunity to connect with this person. She came here for a reason, okay? And that's the same thing is going on when we're talking about LinkedIn and social. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the different types of content. And also, guys, I love it that you're taking notes. I'll make sure that, you know what? I got an experiment that I wanted to do with you guys, okay? And I'm going to pass this around. While I'm wrapping up today, write down your name and your email, okay? And make sure that your name is what you think your name is on LinkedIn. And the other thing is that if you're not on LinkedIn, just make a little note there. That's okay. I'm totally charged up because we're gonna get you on board. But I got a fun game that we're gonna play, y'all. And so if you just fill that out, that would be awesome. I'm gonna send you an email tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. But okay, types of content. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly run through this. There on LinkedIn, there's text-only posts. Okay, there's image posts with single or multiple images. There's video posts. There's document posts. There's polls. You can do polls. You could say, hey, if you guys like going to networking events, that could be a poll. There's articles, longer form articles. You can post events on LinkedIn. There's newsletters that you can post if you've got enough followers. And then there's job posting. Those are the different things that we can use on LinkedIn. But now let's talk about what are some of the different types of posts that we see. And I broke them down into a few categories. You guys might have some others. But the first one is probably, from LinkedIn's perspective, is probably the most important. And that's like a thought leader or an advice post. Because that's going to be the highest probability that people are going to have a conversation. So that's where, what do you think about, X, Y, and Z? What do you think about the cuts in Medicare? Like that's something, here's my opinion, on that. That's something that people can have a conversation about. The next one is, look where I was. I see a lot of you out there today snapping shots at each other and this, that, and the other. And you can go back to your socials and look where I was today, man. I was at Harvard Woods and I saw my buddy and this, that, and the other. And that's cool. And those get traction and they get action. It's okay to do this. The next one, new hire, company culture, and awards. I think this is one that we can all do a little bit more of. Is it's kind of like celebrating somebody's anniversary in your organization, a new hire, a promotion, but just hey, today we were out at riding donkeys at the Reston Zoo. It was a fun activity. It's like and what's going on here is we know. Not only is it hard for us to get customers because nobody wants us to buy, it's hard for us to get employees because their perception of working in senior living is often not positive. And when they see, the team riding donkeys, they like riding donkeys, it's like, holy cow, I'm not going to work for Microsoft, I'm going to go work for Engineers. Okay, so then the other one is insider information. And this is like, this is one of the reasons why we come to these events, is that it's like, oh man, I can get you into an in-service over at, the hospital, stuff like that. Those aren't the types of things, you're not going to post that on LinkedIn. That's going to be a secret special thing for your best friend here. But there's insider information that we share here that if you learned something here and you went and you posted it on LinkedIn, you can help a bunch of people in the community. And last but not least, events and jobs. Okay, now here's something that I want you all to remember for LinkedIn and all social media platforms is these platforms have created calendars and job boards for a reason. They want you to use them. They're going to reward you if you use them. So get in the habit of, if you've got an event coming up, post it on the calendar in LinkedIn, then forward and share that calendar post on your feed, okay? Especially for Facebook. Facebook's calendar, when I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for the weekend, I just flip through that thing. It's like, look out, some really cool stuff. Do it one of these days. I've been blown away at some of the events on my Facebook calendar. But and then LinkedIn with jobs, it's a little bit different. You gotta pay to play, but listen, I don't know about you, 200 or what, a billion people worldwide that are professionals and they're not on there to kind of share their little puppy dog hits. They're there for their job. It's a great place to recruit potential employees. So experiment with some paid job listings. And most of the time, if you haven't done them, you get a free one to start. And then see how that works and creep into that one. Okay, so, all right, let me just double check. It's probably like 11:30. Okay.
About 15 more minutes.
Okay, 15 more minutes. I can do it. Okay, now we're getting into the meat of this, and I promise we'll ask questions. We'll do questions and stuff like that. Okay, so now this is going to help share with you some of the engagement, the different types of posts, and the varying engagement that they get. So, for example, multi-image posts generate higher likes, comments, and engagement than a single image post. But I'm going to put an asterisk by it. If you've got a very compelling single image, you're going to hit it out of the park with that. But if you don't know, like if you came to an event and you throw 4 photos up there, you may entice somebody to kind of click through and look at it a little bit more. And it's been proven, okay? Videos are the most shared content type on LinkedIn. Polls generate the highest impression rate and are 1.5 more times likely to be trending content. And just so you know, like when you get to the page, you'll see underneath all these things. Photos, polls, articles, this, that, and the other. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about thoughtful questions here in a moment, but they're very important for all your social media posts. For videos, make sure your videos are less than 2 minutes. Also, you're going to be rewarded. This is not just on LinkedIn, it's on all social media platforms. if your video is native on LinkedIn, you're going to get a better response than if you share a YouTube video. That being said, if you've got a half-hour YouTube video, don't post that native. Just add the link. That's fine. But a 2-minute or under video, load it up on Facebook, load it up on LinkedIn, Instagram, make it native. LinkedIn, the AI gets excited about that. They don't want you going, LinkedIn doesn't want you going to YouTube. That's Google, okay? Neither does Facebook. And then LinkedIn Live broadcast achieved the highest engagement rate. Well, yeah, of course, because you're doing a webinar for an hour. That's an hour of engagement if somebody watches it. But not that many people watch it. But still, the important thing to know, like some of you probably see, I do 2 or 3 webinars a week, and they're just automatically streamed live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm not doing anything. I've set all that up in the background, so it's sort of bonus engagement that I get. So now, here I'm going to give you an example. I know you guys can't see it in the back, but this blew my mind. Lightning only strikes once. This is probably, I'm never going to repeat this, but I wanted to share it because it's a perfect example of a viral LinkedIn post, and I did everything right, and I didn't realize I did everything right. I was at the Aging Life Care conference a few years ago, and they had this awesome wheelchair walker device called the Zine. Some of you may have seen this thing, but it's like basically, it's like a rollator that travels behind you, and you can walk around, you can play pickleball with this thing. It's incredible. And so I was fascinated by it, and I took a short video of the sales rep, and I was just like, gosh, man, this is amazing. And then I'm on the train heading home, and I started my post with medical equipment needs some innovation and change. Do you agree with me? Okay? And 500,000 people have watched this video. 804 have reposted it, and 6,000 have liked it. All right? And most of them are not like connected to me. Like, so basically, some of you in this room liked or commented on that, and then it tapped into your feed, and then all of a sudden, I got 500,000 people on that post. But what I want you to think about, guys, is I'm guilty of this. I still do this. I will write something, and then at the end, I will ask a question. I want you to think about doing the opposite. Start with a question. So the first thing that people see is, do you agree with me? And it's like, no, I don't agree with you. Boom, 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 boom. Now we got this conversation. LinkedIn's getting excited. But you guys should be getting excited because now we've replicated this WAFA meeting. We're having a conversation about the future of medical equipment. You're meeting people you never met. You can start liking and friending them. They're going to be impressed by what you're saying and this, that, and the other. And that's what I'm going to tell you is that you don't need to be the guy or gal posting, but a great practice is every day find a couple of LinkedIn posts. It could be like a doctor that you're trying to get connected to does a post. Put like an intelligent post in there that is, thoughtful, relating, starting a conversation. It's amazing how many connections you'll get. Anyways, okay, let's go to this. Okay, all right, I'm going to give you a couple more tips, okay? That again, I've learned these things the hard way. So focus on quality over quantity. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to skip down to the bottom. What are some of the things that we know that LinkedIn, how they view a post as being spammy? Spammy behavior such as tagging unrelated individuals, okay? Here's a rule of thumb. Try not to, there are exceptions, but try not to tag more than 5 people in an actual post. And you absolutely should never have more than 5 hashtags in anything that you do. every social media platform will view you as spam when you start creeping over 5. The exception is with the tagging. If you tag 10 people in a post and all 10 of those people within 2 hours went to that post and wrote a thoughtful comment, you are going to probably get a boost from LinkedIn because what we've been talking about, it's relevant. It's like this person wrote something, put 10 people in, they all came and commented, okay, this is acceptable. But what you don't want to do is throw, and what I won't be doing by you guys like filling out my little form there, I'm not going to throw you all into a post or anything like that, just so you know. Because we'd all, or I'd be penalized, okay? Storytelling, you guys have heard it, everybody's been to the marketing thing. It's always better to tell a story. Oh, I'm still down here, okay. Low quality content and numerous errors. When you do a social media post, run it through spell check, run it through a grammar program. It's really easy for AI and algorithms to check if somebody wrote a post with errors in it, and they're going to downgrade that. I told you about excessive use of tags. Okay, now here's quality over quantity. Too frequent posting. Okay, try to add at least 12 hours between posts on whatever social media platform. The experts say, the LinkedIn experts say, let your post breathe. Because see, what's going to happen is, if you have a compelling post that you did, and then 6 hours later you throw another one on there, they're running that algorithm, and it may they may start ignoring that great post that you did. So try to sort of think it out, and and the thing that you really don't want to do is just a bunch in one day. Now, do I do it? Yeah, absolutely. We're all going to do it, but just realize that you're not going to get the superstar boost. So, like for example, the program I use that does all my webinars, I usually do that all in one day, and I got like 15 LinkedIn posts for all those webinars. But what I'm not going to do is my rock star, what do you think about this, that I'm trying to get an engaged audience. I'm going to wait 12 hours before I do something like that, okay? Okay, storytelling, calls to action, relevant. Okay, now, what is the deal with hashtags? I still don't understand it, okay? But this is how I want you to think about them. Hashtags, think about hashtags as, we've got people in the room that remember card catalogs in the library, okay? I want you to think about hashtags as an index to the subject matter of your post. So, for example, let's say that I do a post about today's meeting. I always do positive aging because that's my brand and I want to be tied into that. Then I'll do LinkedIn, hashtag LinkedIn, and then I might do like hashtag networking in Northern Virginia or something like that. Now, I might do a little bit of research. I might type in hashtag WAFA. And if I saw that there's like hundreds of posts with the hashtag of WAFA, then I'm going to do a hashtag WAFA. But here's the funny thing, guys. It's like when you're throwing up these creative hashtags that hashtag, what the heck are hashtags for? I mean, you might be the only one there. Like you want to give your readers a guide to what the topic is, but then you also kind of want to attach yourself to the people that are out there that say, oh, I'm going to wake up this morning and click the positive aging hashtag, see what's going on. Okay. All right. I'm at the end, and we'll have a little discussion here, but this is your homework, okay? I want everybody to review and update their LinkedIn profile. Like, don't come to the meeting in a swimsuit, okay? Just start filling it out. And again, I know you probably got a brother-in-law who's like, oh man, dude, you didn't do your job title the right way. You're supposed to do this, that, and the other. But don't worry, if you just fill it out and you're authentic, and actually I'm glad I said that word authentic. You cannot game the internet anymore or social media. Like the days of like SEO where you hire somebody and they throw a bunch of keywords in, that you get penalized when you do that. Where we get advanced is when we are making authentic statements. We're presenting ourselves in an authentic way. We're making authentic comments on these platforms. That's how you get upgraded, and that's how, like, again, like, and get the WAFA test. Like, the next time you're going to do something on LinkedIn, imagine that you have this microphone and you're in this room and you're making the comment to everybody in this room. It's like, would they like that? And oh, here's another thing. I didn't go into this. Most of us are, you know what our comments are on LinkedIn posts? Congrats. Nobody's having a conversation there. Actually, I mean, LinkedIn will reward that, because if all these congrats start coming in within an hour or two of the post, they'll reward that. But it's sort of like, maybe something like, hey, congrats on the new job. I remember when you started working at Shady Acres, and I can't wait to see you in your new role. You know, just throw what you would do here in this room, you know? Okay. This is a good one. If you haven't downloaded the app for LinkedIn, download it. It's really easy to use, but this is one of the reasons. Like, I know a lot of you will say, I just don't have time for LinkedIn. I don't have time for any of this stuff. Well, I already explained to you, you spent 17 hours coming to this meeting today, okay? LinkedIn will take you literally to have an amazing LinkedIn presence. I'll tell you how you can do it in like 5 minutes every day. And this is how I do it. I make my coffee in the morning, and I do Wordle, you know, while the coffee's doing. But then I go to LinkedIn. LinkedIn has puzzles that you can play, and they're a lot of fun. They're kind of like Wordle style puzzles. And I do my little LinkedIn puzzles, and then I look at my feed and I scroll down it, and sometimes I make a little comment. But all of us, because we're external marketers, most of us, because we came to this, if you got that LinkedIn app, you can, while you're waiting for an appointment, you can be playing around with it, okay? And then this is what I want you guys to think. The reason I was talking so much about commenting is not because I want you, posting, okay? The reason that I was talking so much about posting is because if people didn't post on LinkedIn, there would be no conversations. Just like if WAFA didn't have speakers coming in, you know, we could do networking, but sooner or later it's sort of like, okay, I have now people in that room, you know. But so think about it, like, you don't need to post on LinkedIn. But what I want you all to think about and do a little test, like, give yourself a month, and whatever the frequency you're comfortable with, I'm going to do 2 posts a week, 2 comments a week, 2 thoughtful comments. I'm going to be in the waiting room, I'm going to be searching. Holy cow. And think about it like you're walking into the WAFA room. Let's say that you're walking by and somebody is like, says something, and it's, what did you say? Oh my God, I had no idea. Wow. You know, this is my experience with that. That's how I want you acting on LinkedIn. You don't need to comment on everybody. Do just the stuff that you're interested in and see how it goes, okay? And whether it's daily, whether it's once a week, whether it's once a month, just try that and see how it goes. Now, let's see. Okay, so we talked about what to wear, why bother, what do I say, where do I get to? I'm going to send everybody an email tomorrow. I'll send this PowerPoint. I've recorded it. I'll send it in podcast form if you've got coworkers. Looks like I got 10 minutes, but I got a few more things that I want to share with you. Oh no, we got to do announcements. 2 minutes. We got to wrap that. 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. Yeah. So actually, let me just shut up. Okay, you guys got questions? Yeah.
Information lately I've seen, and maybe it's easy. A lot of people go into, partisan politics on LinkedIn, and a lot of us are out there thinking this is where we're supposed to be doing connections with people, and I don't see it being a benefit to anybody in business to alienate 50% of the people that you might work with.
Yeah.
I believe that was from the
Oh, no. Well, here's the good thing is that behavior on LinkedIn, I think overall is relatively shunned. Again, if you're on Facebook or Instagram or any of the other socials, it's rampant and it's always been. And in LinkedIn in general is this professional platform. And here's the other cool thing is that if you don't if you see something like that, do not don't even click the down button, okay? Just pass it by. Go by it as quickly as you can, because what LinkedIn's algorithm is going to do, it's going to keep that stuff off your feed. If you add a paragraph comment on how you're nuts and this, that, and the other, let me tell you, they're going to start feeding all that stuff. And but you're right. And the downside is, and we've all heard it, which is we've got this, new administration that is tied very deeply to commerce, okay? And so I'm not going to be surprised if we start seeing more and more of this partisan stuff going on. Yeah.
So it says, of course you can see twice, but what does it mean when it says your post had whatever many impressions?
Okay. That's what I was going to talk about for the last 2 minutes. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. We're gonna do an experiment amongst ourselves, and it's going to be a win-win for all of us. So at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'm going to do a post, and right when I do it, I'm going to send you all an email, okay? And I'm going to say, hey, y'all, here's the link to the post that I just did. If you'd like to make a thoughtful comment, like it, do whatever, have at it, and hopefully 5 of you will make a thoughtful comment within 2 hours of me sending that 8 o'clock email out. Because this is, yeah, I mean, maybe all of you all will, which would be really kind of interesting. But all you need is 5. Like that's what the LinkedIn expert says. See, because what LinkedIn's going to do is I'm going to send this post out, and they're going to be like, okay, is anybody interested in this guy's post? And then all of a sudden I'm going to get these 5 comments, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to respond to those. I'll respond to every comment that's on there, but I'm going to respond to those first 5, lickety split. And then if the algorithm works right, LinkedIn's going to give us a boost, okay? And then we can just have this ongoing conversation, and this, that, and the other. And so then what I'm going to do, I'm going to let that breathe, and then maybe like on Thursday or Friday, I'm going to do another post that I'm not going to tell you guys about. That's going to be somewhat similar, but I'm just going to put it up on my feed. And then early next week, I'm going to send everybody an email that's going to have screenshots, and it's going to show where you can measure impressions and how many people looked at the post.
So an impression is when someone looks at
it. Yeah.
Doesn't come.
Right. So the way that people engage is there's looking at it, and that's going to be an impression. And there is a little, like Kathy said, there's a little feed there. But then if they hit the thumbs up, that's an engagement. If they share it, that's an engagement. If they comment, those are comments and stuff. Yeah.
So I've noticed with some of your other events, you will put the names of people that attend in your comments. Is that one way to put tag people but not have?
Yeah. Okay. Spam? Thank you for bringing that up. And I'm not doing that anymore, by the way. Based on this meeting, okay. So I'll restate what happened. So when I run the NDSRN meetings, one of the things that I'll do is I'll create a little video under 2 minutes, and then I'll post it up there. And then in comments, I would tag all of you all on LinkedIn and doing the research for it. So in general, here's the other thing. Let's say that you want to recognize 15 people that are at a meeting that you're at. And I already told you, only list 5 in the post. List the other 10 in comments, and maybe break them down into 3 comments. Because I think LinkedIn is they look for anything that's super excessive. They look for anybody who's trying to game their system. And in general, it's been said that, you can put links and stuff like that. It is true. Like if you have a website, if you have a post, and you're sending somebody off of LinkedIn to go to another website, it's best to say a link to the website is in comments. I get lazy and I just put them in there now, you know. But if I'm really trying to do something of significance, I want that to be in comments. Now, to say, why am I not going to put 50 people in the comments that are attending, even though it benefits us all, you know, is because from what I read about LinkedIn in 2025, it's like I'm trying to game the system. I'm not being authentic there. What I can do, though, because everybody RSVPs for the NPSRN, is exactly what we're going to do here today, is that it's like, hey guys, it was great seeing you at the meeting. Here's the LinkedIn post I did. If you want to like and comment on that, that's great. And blah, blah, blah.
So you can come.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, just don't make it excessive. I was doing it too, but like 5, 10 people, and you're not going to get dinged, but I was putting 200 people in the comments, you know what I mean? So, okay, I think we're out of time. Oh, yeah.
I'm still not clear on hashtag. What's that?
What hashtags are is basically you can type on any browser, Google, any social media, you can type hashtag and anything behind it. And what you will see is sort of an index of everything under that. So if you said hashtag partisan politics, you know, boom, man, you're gonna have millions of stuff there. Hashtag skydiving at 1,000 feet, maybe nobody's there, you know. It's a subject matter thing, and some people really use it a lot, but it's just become this kind of like thing that we all do, and some of us really use it. But the way hashtags can be used very beneficially is just make it the subject. Because actually LinkedIn they want you to use hashtags. They want you to use 3 to 5 hashtags. You start using 6 to 20, then it's like, oh, this person is downgraded. You know, like the next thing, here's the irony, you're trying to do this to get more people to look at your post, and you're actually, they're putting you in the base, you know, so, okay. Yeah.
Is hashtag and using the symbol, the @ symbol, equal?
No, okay, boy, this is great, okay. Hashtag and @ symbol, okay, an @ symbol is tagging, okay? So it's like, let's say, you know, Lejeune says, today I was at a meeting with @Steve Gurney from @Positive Asian Community, and he was and then Hunters Woods at Trail's Edge for the WAFA meeting. So the cool thing about that, and this is, so now, like when you see people doing posts, and you're sort of like, oh man, I want to meet Lejeune, you can now click on that @ sign, send you right to her LinkedIn post. And if you don't know her, you could be like, hey, Lejeune, I saw you did something with Steve Gurney. He's a friend of mine, would like to have coffee with you know, and that's that sign, and that's happening. Okay, but hashtags, try to keep them at 5. Yeah.
Okay, so tags, 5 as well.
Keep them both at 5. I mean, again, and if you need to do more, then do them in the comments. Yeah, but the last thing that I'm going to say is, guys, there's no way to game the system. It's best to just be your authentic self. And again, like who's going to come into this room? Who's going to come into this room and just start rattling out names? You know, it's sort of like, Scott, and no, that's not how we behave as humans. Okay, we are going to say, I saw Scott and it was wonderful, and I couldn't believe that he is not drinking caffeinated coffee anymore. You know, I mean,
not true.
Yeah, no, I know. Okay, I'm done. But you guys know you can set up a meeting with me. You can call me. You can email me. I love brainstorming. Yeah.
Right, that kind of thought we will take a few minutes to go to if anybody's on a tight schedule or not attending this meeting. So we'll start in the front row. If anybody is a first timer or an infrequent user, or you have an event coming up, can you tell us real quick? So Michelle, you good?
Okay, hi everybody. I just want you to know, and I'm gonna hashtag you all. But I just want you to know that there's a wonderful opportunity. It's called the Accredited Case Manager Association, HCMA Spring Conference.